Welcome back, boys. After what was considered the worst football weekend of all time for many, we're here to console with everyone's feelings. We even have a script to help us out again this week, and Nick's even got his own book that he had. So, Nick, welcome back to the show. How'd your reading experience go this past week?
Wait a second. How did you know that I wanted to start this show off with talking about my book? Have you been stealing my signs? Travis, honestly, this is a little weird with what's been happening this week. I'm gonna need to do a quick check here. Can you please stand up and show everybody what kind of pants you're wearing?
Uh, I got on these bad boys right here.
Oh my god, khakis? Okay, wait a second. This could be a little bit bigger than I originally thought. Oh my wait, what is this? Oh my god, dude, wait. Dude, I just found this okay, so wait a second. Dude, this right here, this is my phone. You can see very clearly it says limp as a pussy at the very top. That's my phone. Got all my fantasy notes on it. I just pulled this out of my couch. Oh my god. You've been
That's
stealing my
not ours.
signs.
That looks like some rogue spyware from a school in this state, but that is not belonging to us, clearly.
Man, but I think you've been stealing my signs, bud. I'm gonna have to watch out for you. You did get the Kiffin Award this week. Have you been stealing signs?
We have not. We have not. We have a little bit more integrity than that over here at Texas Size 10 Fours. We'll say that for another time. Let's get into all the action we had this past week, starting off with yours truly, Texas Size 10 Fours. After getting Lions awarded 2 weeks in a row, we decided enough of that. We're going to go get the Kiffin Award for ourselves this week. Nice 160-point performance from the boys. And really started with their specialists. You know, there's three phases of the game. Our specialists really came through. Young Ku's been kicking well, but he hasn't gotten many opportunities. But he did get some this week and was able to get the game winner for his team as well. And the Seahawks defense played really nicely against the Cardinals. And then Travis Kelce, nice 36-point day. If I was scouting anything, it was for this link. I can tell you that much right now. 12 receptions in front of his new sweetie and a tud on top of that. We were very happy with the points we were going to get. And then our running backs provided some nice support. McCaffrey and Swift having their usual days. K9 also with 14. Our receivers played all right. Honestly, they both got 12 targets, so I would have expected more out of them. Devontae Adams specifically, he was calling out his whole team in the press in the week leading up to this game. Then he got 12 targets. He made some work, but he did have a really bad drop in the end zone that you just got to make. He was able to cook the corner and then create a good amount of separation, but you just got to bring that one in. But a player like that, we're not going to hold that against him too hard. We're pretty happy this week overall. We're going to look to keep this momentum going.
If for PC Principal, not a terrible game. Loses their first game here to the surprise of everybody, but not a bad week. 135 points is nothing to be upset about. Kamara played incredible again. 14 targets. Good lord, like Derek Carr can't throw the ball past 10 yards right now with the shoulder injury, and Kamara is just getting fed off of it. Tyreek played well. Pacheco played well. I mean, I kind of like scrolling down. I mean, everybody's pretty like close to double digits or at double digits for this team. And Joku, Aaron Jones was close. Keenan Allen was close. Kicker special teams double digits. I think everybody played pretty well. Tua kind of didn't have a great game on Sunday Night Football, only getting 13 points, and that kind of did him in this week, especially going up against a near 160-point game. So not a terrible loss, but PC Principal falls for the first time this year.
All right. Moving on to our second game of the week. We had Philly Cheekles squeaking out a dirty win to knock the swipe award, however, but a 115-96 beatdown of Francy Feast for the Cheekles.
A dirty win to say the least, but you'll take him here. ETN, 2 touchdowns, and what I am seeing is his third straight game. That's pretty cool. Nice 22 points. Also, welcome back, Jonathan Taylor. Kind of got ramped up a little bit last week and was carrying more of his usual workload, it looks like. 18 carries, 22 points. That's a great sign for the Cheekles here. And also, I see Michael Thomas found the end zone. I want to say that would be his first touchdown of the year. So shout out Michael Thomas for finding the end zone again. I mean, outside of that, like nothing crazy. Like Laporta close to 10. Smitty still not doing a lot. Maher got cut today, I saw. for missing some kicks. But, you know, just enough. Squeak out a win. You know, Philly Cheekles aren't going to be complaining at this point. You know, a win's a win.
All right. On the flip side here for Francy Feast, not the greatest performance. They're really running out of opportunities on the season here. So we'll see if they're able to clean this up. This was just not what they wanted to see this week. The running backs were really a problem for him. Bijan Robinson having migraine problems, only got the one carry, and Elijah Mitchell getting negative points for him on the week. And I got to ask, we've seen this problem with this team in years past. They had 2 running backs on bye this week, but just not a whole ton of depth. And if you go down, you see they have well, you can't see it in browser mode. I apologize. But they have a whole bunch of taxi squad spots open. And it feels like we've run into this problem with this team before. So all I'm going to say is, Matt, hit the waiver wire ASAP before this bites you at the end of the year again. But that's all we got to say on that for now. Gabe Davis also didn't have the greatest day at the receiver position, only 1 catch out of him. There were a couple bright spots, however. Kittle had a good day, and Mike Evans had himself a good day, and Kirk Cousins, another nearly 30-point day himself. He was able to get a big win on primetime on Monday Night Football. So definitely were some bright spots, but this team does fall to 2-5. They really need to get things going if they want to turn their season around. And moving on to our third game of the week, we have we had WalllessPluto taking down FaZe Kev with a nice 113-105 victory. A couple key pieces for WalllessPluto really breaking out here, mostly their running backs. Jahmyr Gibbs getting his first, I believe it was his first touchdown, his first few touchdowns of the season at least. 26 points out of him, even though the Lions got absolutely routed by the Ravens this weekend. And a big day out of Saquon as well, 19 points out of him. Mark Andrews also providing a nice little sneaky 22. If you get a big day out of your tight end, that always boosts your lineup a lot. It's almost like having an extra player. But where they really got hurt this week was a rough day from their specialists. Only 8 out of the Bills' defense, and this is a team that takes a lot of pride in their defense. But it does feel like they haven't been getting the greatest performance out of them. So we'll see if they're able to motivate the boys, get some better defensive performances down the stretch here. But they do find themselves back in the mediocrity bowl at the moment, which is where this team belongs.
Yeah, for FaZe Kev here, another kind of rough showing. Josh Allen got back on the hot train. He had a nice performance, even though the Bills fell a little bit short. 27 points for fantasy was great. Definitely know that he's wishing that he could do a little bit more to get the actual victory. Eckler didn't do a whole hell of a lot here. Javonte Williams, I thought, looked pretty good. 15 carries, 82 yards. Like, that's not a bad day by any stretch of the imagination. Amon-Ra and Goddard, though, were what really made this game close, as they were able to collectively get close to 20 points each. Goddard getting a touchdown, Amon-Ra 19 targets, good Lord. But with the exact same thing with WalllessPluto, with the specialists, as we see here, Lions only 2 points against the Ravens as they got absolutely beat down in that game. That's usually not going to be a recipe for success. And then you couple that with the 1 point from Kelvin Ridley, the 1 catch for 5 yards, whatever it was. That's usually not going to spell a good week or at least a victory. And then also some bad news coming out of the woodworks yesterday. Chris Olave and Justin Ross were arrested. And we know that this has kind of been an issue for this franchise in the past, who's unfortunately gaining a reputation at this point, but hopefully for both of them that they're going to kind of be able to get that worked out. And that's a lot more important than football at this point.
All right. Moving on to our 4th game of the week. We had Cleveland Steamers with an epic comeback victory, able to take the lead on Monday Night Football and take it home, 140-134. Nick, tell us how your boys are able to get this one done.
Yeah, we first want to just shout out Sticky Mistakes. Always a great battle when we play them. They played their hearts out, 135 points pretty much. It's never something to be upset about. We were just able to do just a little bit more this week, but shout out them. They put up a hell of a fight and a great battle as always. I'm super proud of this team right now. Just the grit and resilience that we've shown this year. I mean, with the amount of injuries that we faced, it'd be very easy to kind of just turtle and end the season pretty much in a sense. But this team battled this week, and again, I'm extremely proud. I know Odell is extremely proud as well. We'll start with Pat Mahomes. We've been asking for it all year. Vintage Pat Mahomes performance. We finally got one. 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. Doing everything a team captain is set out there to do, especially when we're faced with the adversity that we've been faced with this year. So shout out Pat Mahomes for really carrying the team this week. We also kind of just want to go down and shout out the boys. Rashad White played great this week. Jalen Warren finding the end zone was huge for us. Stephon Diggs. Again, the Bills game could have went a lot better for anybody with Bills players, but, still was able to show out. Terry putting in some work in the second half there, getting 90 yards after not getting a look in the first half. TJ Hawkinson saving us on Monday Night Football with a great performance. I thought Drake London played good. We got to clean up the special teams a little bit. But we're just happy to get out of here. Bad bounces this year and bad breaks. So also excited to get through the first week without sustaining a starting injury. So that's huge. Last little bit I want to touch on here. Can you scroll down to Deontay Johnson really quick? Just to put this out there so nobody's thinking I'm playing favorites of any stretch of the imagination. I'm just going to put this out there for everybody to know. Deontay Johnson is going to be sold to the highest bidder at the trade deadline. Okay, this dude coming back from injury. All right, he was put on a limited snap count. He was put on a pitch count. Still put up 13 points without even finding the end zone. This dude's a top 10 separator in the NFL. And an absolutely elite wide receiver. And any team who's making a playoff push and championship push, it would be great to have him on your team. And I'm just telling you straight up, he will be sold to the highest bidder at the trade deadline. So everybody who's been sending me Stephon Diggs trades and been lowballing the living shit out of me, this might be more your speed if you're not willing to pay for a top 5 receiver in the NFL. So just wanted to put that out there.
All right. On the flip side here for sticky mistakes, like Nick said, 135, not a bad week by any stretch of the imagination. They would come up just short, however, but a lot of good things to build off of. Mostly their usual suspects. Jalen Hurts had 28 himself. Big win over the Dolphins. I believe that was Sunday Night Football. And then
Yes.
Another big day out of Puka Nacua, 25 out of him. If there was maybe one part they'd be a little disappointed in, Zach Moss only getting 7 after they just acquired him via trade from PC Principal, and did look like Taylor was getting more of the workload. So that'll be something for this team to monitor. But nothing for this team to panic. They fall at 5-2, but they still have the claim on the division. They keep putting up weeks like this, the wins will come, and they really want to be playing their best football in the playoffs anyways. All right, and our 5th and final matchup of the week. Also a matchup of epic proportions. We had Glizz Mafia fighting through, getting a big victory, 145-131 in dramatic comeback fashion, also on Monday Night Football over the Pams.
I mean, the video Cleesby posted last night sums this up beautifully. Let's talk about Jordan Addison. Absolutely stellar performance coming out party on Monday Night Football. We all know about the Justin Jefferson injury that happened. The Vikings kind of need somebody to step up into that wide receiver 1 role in this circumstance. And this was the exact reason they went out and got a guy like Jordan Addison. I vividly remembered we were on a golf course in New York, early August, and there was a certain somebody in this league who was picking after the 2 people who were picking running backs, who asked me, Nick, who'd be the receiver you draft 3? Who do you think the best receiver is here? And I remember giving him an in-depth breakdown on why I think Jordan Addison is the best receiver in the class, and he still got passed up. What was it, twice before he was able to get picked? And
yes.
We're kind of seeing the fruits of that labor right here. As this kid is an incredible talent, and he really was able to showcase that on Monday Night Football. Shout out Jordan Addison. Great performance. And I know Glizz Mafia is loving you right now and loving the fact that some people passed up on you. Let's also talk about A.J. Brown while we're at the topic of receivers. A.J. Brown has been on a historical tear recently. I think I saw something on Twitter or somewhere that said he's like 5 or 6 straight games of 125 plus yards, which is like either never been done or only been done by a select few people. So just shout out AJ Brown for the tear that he's been on, as he just keeps producing week in and week out. Also, reluctantly want to kind of shout out Deonta Foreman. 3 touchdowns in that Bears game. Should have been Roshan. Goddamn concussion protocol. But we want to shout Deonta Foreman out. Regardless, great game from him. I know Glizz Mafia was really happy they subbed him in and were able to squeak this one out after that epic Monday night football performance from Jordan Addison to secure this victory.
Yeah, on the flip side here for Pams, 131, not a horrible performance, but they do fall 2-5, so they're really running out of time to let games like this drop from them. After watching his team get smacked on Saturday, Lemp flew out to watch the Lions also lose to the hands of Harbaugh in person on Sunday, but at least he was able to get the 40 points out of Lamar out of the experience. So he will take that, I'm sure. Also able to get 18.5 out of Ford from the Browns. Browns D also had themselves a good day, 28 points out of them. And they were able to add a touchdown to that as they took down my Colts, unfortunately. But a couple of single digit performances outside of that held him back. Most notably Cooper Kupp. When he has a bad day, really it's going to hurt this team. Mostert as well. They would come just short, but definitely some pieces to build off of heading in the future, but they are definitely running out of time. And with that, we're going to take a look ahead at the Week 8 schedule and the standings, so everyone has a good idea of where our league stands and what kind of action you have to look forward to this upcoming week. First matchup, we got yours truly, Texas Size 10-4s. We're going to be taking on our co-host, Cleveland Steamers. We're going to be looking to ride the momentum of our Kiffin Award last week. So, Nick, we're going to be ready to give you our game. What message do you have for your team and your boys? Hey, wait, whoa. What is that? Are you trying to spy on us and steal our signals?
This is a no. This isn't a phone. This isn't a phone. This thing doesn't need. This is a hamburger. I think that's.
It sure looks like
I
a
think
phone to me.
I think you're allowed to give out hamburgers. I heard maybe. This isn't a phone. This isn't a phone.
You just ordering yourself some Five Guys over there? Is that it?
Oh yeah. We love a good cheeseburger over here. We're just taking a selfie. What else do you have to say?
We're just gonna keep that one in our back pocket for later. But moving on to the rest of the games, we got Battle of the Mom Names. Francy FaZe taking on Pams. Both these teams sitting at 2-5.
Let's go.
One of them's got to break.
I love this matchup.
The other one's probably gonna have their season ruined, so we'll see which poor soul it ends up being. Third game, we got Sticky Mistakes 5-2. Taking on Glizz Mafia. Glizz Mafia looking to keep that momentum going after their big comeback win. It's a classic grudge match in this league. We'll see if this is highly contested again. Fourth matchup, we got FaZe Kev 3-4, still looking to maintain their momentum, climb their way back into the playoffs. They're taking on PC Principal, suffering their first loss this past week. We'll see if FaZe Kev is able to make it too. And then our fifth and final match for the week, we got WalllessPluto taking on the Philly Cheekles. These two team owners have one thing in common, and we all know what it is. They're both currently sitting in the mediocrity bowl right now, so we'll see if that changes afterwards. But should be a good matchup. Now I'll take a quick look at the standings. Sticky Mistakes now holds a 1-game lead over us and Glizz Mafia in the Michigan division. WalllessPluto is behind that 3-4, but they're currently in the mediocrity bowl. Francy FaZe behind that at 2-5. In the American division, we got PC Principal now sitting at 6-1 with a 2-game lead on the Philly Cheekles. We got FaZe Kev, Pams, and Cleveland Steamers behind them. And that will do it for us this week. Nick, any final thoughts before we get off, or any final scouting you might want to get in?
Yeah, looking at that Glizz Mafia versus Sticky Mistakes game, do you think that we'll get the patented side wager placed on this game? Spice things up a little bit.
I think it's highly likely. I know these two do like to gamble, so we'll see if anything's coming. I would like to see some creativity happen there.
I would like to see something there. These two teams love to get at it, so let's spice it up a little bit. A little good side wager.
Maybe we'll see. We'll see what they have in store for us. But that's all we have for this week. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Hope you come back next week for all the Week 8 action. And yeah, we'll see you guys then. Peace out.